Now it's a waiting game. I don't know if you want to go back and forth with the questions or just kind of go as we see fit.
All right, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I got a bunch of stuff written down, but maybe if something pops into my mind or something.
Yeah. I added a Mary fuck kill for him.
Nice.
I'm gonna put Camilla, Jenna, and Kellyanne back because him and Camilla were like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going out on the show or hooking up.
I actually watched the after show this week, and it was like a behind the scenes uh, interview with a bunch of current and former cast members. It's kind of interesting talking about like some of the questions I was planning on asking Devin anyway, but it was kind of interesting look at the shit that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Who hosts that?
Um, there was no host on it really. It was just like them sitting down doing
Uh,
interviews. You could see the producer was asking them questions in the background, but it was kind of like what's like they talked about what's contraband, like how they're not allowed to bring phones or laptops with them and shit. How they sneak stuff onto the show with them.
it's like fucking heavyweights when they sneak all the meat on each other's backs. You see all the Barstool guys are tweeting out stuff for that movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's probably going to be a lot more of that shit now that Chernin owns them. A lot more promoted stuff on the website.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know he like produced movies and stuff. This fucking guy, dude. God. His life can't be that busy all the time. He can't give us like a half hour. Or maybe he doesn't have a computer. It's not even worth sending him an email if he doesn't answer the text. That's probably the quickest way to talk to him. it's crazy to me because why would he go through all this stuff like conversing back and forth if he was never going to come on?
I know, it's
Just
insane.
literally like President Johnny Manziel. He tells him to show up in San Diego for a party, and Johnny's in LA.
Johnny Football's only got a few more hours before it's sobriety time.
One of my friends is in Cabo with his family. I'm gonna try to find out where Manziel's party is tonight at that place he rented.
What a fucking disaster he is.
I know. I thought he was gonna be good in the NFL too. He still could be, I guess, but not now.
It's crazy. He looks like he's about 100 pounds nowadays.
Yeah, he looks like. Did you see the video I posted today of like the gutter kids?
Yeah.
Looks like a fucking gutter kid or gutter punks.
Fuck those kids, huh? What a bunch of assholes.
That video was crazy. Some guy wouldn't give them money, so the guy just started like wailing on him, and then some guy comes out of left field. Out of all of them, they're all like high on meth and shit. Uh-oh. He's back.
Nice.
He's typing. I'm just going to say, so when he comes on, so we can just record it. We're happy to be joined by Devin Walker, a contestant on this season of MTV The Challenge Rivals 3. And then Justin can just put that on. All right, he said email works, so I'll send him an email with the link. We might. You ever see that show on the one where the guy like goes all over the world, these gigantic fish?
No, I've never seen it.
It's all over the place and catches these huge fish. This show. All right, I sent it to him.
All right.
Should be game time. How is the after show? I've never really watched it.
That was the only one I saw, really. I never watched it either, but when I saw it was going to be sort of the behind-the-scenes shit, I was like, oh, I'll check this one out.
Because I thought Cara Maria was hosting it, so I hate her, so I would never watch that. But I feel like they give good shit on the after show. I just never really tune into it.
Yeah. I guess Tony and Camilla were both on after last week's episode.
Really? What happened?
I don't know. I just somebody was telling me that they were both on, and I think what I heard was Camilla said something to him like, I hope your daughters never get treated the way that you treated me or something like that. I think the same thing that she tweeted at him, she said to him.
Oh, really? Did it end up in like a fight or no? It was just like
no, I don't think so. This is somebody just told me about it at work, and I never went back to watch it.
I always wonder if that drama is like made up. Like the producers tell them to put it on. Because I know in the real world they do that, but I'm not sure. You start talking about people's kids and shit, that takes it to the next level. I still can't believe Dario's on the show.
I know, unbelievable.
He just skates by every fucking episode. I think they keep him on because Nani's cousin's there.
Yeah.
They want storylines, so.
I want to see what Devin thinks of Dario.
Yeah.
He'll say that he sucks.
I think they were both on Are You the One. I don't know if they're at the same time or not. Because they're both Massachusetts guys. I think Dario's from Salem. I wouldn't even know like how to get on those shows. I guess you have to send in like a tape and stuff, audition tape.
Yeah.
I remember watching The Real World that season Wes was on, and his audition tape. He went to Arizona State. His audition tape was like him throwing a football with his shirt off. It was like him playing flag football with his buddies, just with his shirt off, throwing the football. Like he's lost some muscle. When he first came on, he was a little bit bigger than he is now. And Bananas, I think, has gotten bigger.
Yeah, he has.
His season was the best of The Real World, though. Bananas. I think it was Key West on that one. They gotta bring it back to Boston, The Real World.
I know, that'd be sweet.
They're doing this season was in Las Vegas. The last one was in Chicago. I think it's better when they do it in a smaller city because then people just try to fight them and stuff.
I don't really like how it's drawn the past few seasons with like they had the Skeletons one and then this one was kind of more like a challenge. I like when it's just them doing shit.
I stopped watching after the second episode because I was like, it's all challenge. Like the house wasn't even that sick. It was like an apartment building.
I haven't been a fan of these last 2 seasons.
Let them live in the house and have a job and let the drama create itself. I mean, like think about this. On the Paris season, they cast CT in fucking Paris. Like a kid that's probably never gone outside. Devin!
How are you doing,
what's up?
What's going on, dude?
How are we, guys?
What's going on,
How about
man?
yourself?
Cheers. We finally made it. Sorry about my flakiness.
No problem, dude. I know you're a busy guy.
So
how
what's
about
up, boys?
nothing much? How about being verified? I saw you got verified on Twitter.
Check mark.
How'd you pull that shit?
Check mark. I don't know. MTV hooks it up sometimes.
Really?
Yeah,
so
they
MTV
call
got it for you?
and they'll say, we want to get you verified. And I said, all right, fine, we can verify it. And then that's pretty much it. And I have like 7,000 followers. No one even cares about what the fuck I say.
Are you like tied to MTV now? Like you can never go away from them now that you got the verified check mark from them?
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of fucked. I didn't think about that. There's probably some sort of contract stipulation there that
Yeah.
they got me for life now.
There you go. Not a bad move. You got Bananas and West, fucking veterans. They're making a good living off it. I know that
Shut
much.
the fuck up in there.
What's going on right now, man? Where are you?
I got a house full of rowdy Boston Red Sox fans. And they're they're really starting to get it going in there. I don't know.
Are the Red Sox your favorite Boston team? Like, rank your Boston sports teams. What teams do you like the most?
Oh, God. Celtics, Sox, Bruins, Patriots.
So you're an NBA guy?
I mean, I'm a Larry Bird guy.
Who isn't, you know?
I'm a Larry Bird guy. There's nothing to do but shoot jumpers on a grass court, brother.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? The guy was.
What'd you think? What'd you think of the Celtics draft?
I like our guy. I like Brown, and I watched a little like, I don't know, 2.5 minute video on him or whatever. The guy was taking honors classes at UCLA, grad school level classes as a freshman, straight A's, valedictorian of his high school class, smart player. I think he's wet from three. I feel good about it. I do want Durant though, but there's no shot.
Yeah, there's no shot we get Durant.
We're not gonna get him.
Nope. We never get those big free agents. Even if people like leak it and shit, we never get them.
No, we don't. We got Garnett, but he wasn't even that big of a name. He only came for Pearson Allen, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe we get Larry Bird back out.
Yeah, he can still fucking play, I bet. You never lose the shot. You never lose that.
If he's breathing, he can hit a jump shot.
Yeah, we have no shooting right now. We have no shooting whatsoever.
On that. Don't have any kids, though. I don't have any kids.
So how did you get on Are You the One to start with?
All right, yeah, let's talk shop here. So Are You the One? Here's the situation. I teach at a summer camp every summer. Not this summer, but because of my business or whatever. But I used to teach at a summer camp every summer, go to different college campuses. I was at University of California, San Diego, UCSD. And we went out the day before the campers come, and we sang karaoke, and some guy saw me and said, hey, that was hilarious. Do you want to be on TV? And I said, sure. And then he gave me an option, a couple different options of shows to do that he thought I might be good at. Are You the One was on the list. It was the only one he could win money in, and the rest is history.
Were they all MTV shows?
No, one of them, the top three were this naked dating show.
I've seen that, yeah.
The Bachelorette, but 15 guys, one girl, wasn't going to do it. And Are You the One? And I figured season 3, he had kind of given me the inside scoop, which was this is going to be the make or break season. They signed on initially for 3 seasons, so if we didn't kind of grow the ratings a little bit, they were going to be done. So I figured let's give it a shot, maybe pump some life into the show and see what we can do.
Yeah, I've actually been watching this season. They have every dude on that show is like a male model. Is that how it was when you were on it? Every dude on that show.
Yeah, definitely. I think they went out of the box. For our show, they had gone away from like the cookie cutter kind of role because the first 2 seasons hadn't gotten great ratings. So they just took a bunch of fucking psychopaths and put them all in a house together. And I think that they figured out that would make better TV. But now, because everyone got their fill of the psychopaths, they're going to go back to the male models. And then season 5 will be a cross between the two, and then season 6 will be psychopaths again. And I think they're going to ride that little circle for a while. But yeah, this is the supermodel season. They're all just ripped.
I watch every episode. I'm like, holy shit! Every dude on that show is like fucking good looking. Like, there's not one bad looking dude on that show.
They're nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah, we had some rough characters actually on our show.
Where did you film that season?
Are You the One was in Hawaii. In the challenge, obviously I can't give away too much information, but that was Huatuco, Mexico. We were in Kona, Hawaii for Are You the One, Huatuco, Mexico for the challenge. And then there are some other destinations that I may or may not be a part of coming up soon on the show.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think you'll definitely be in a couple more. You're good for the show. You bring another edge to it. You like to have fun with it.
Yeah, that's the point, man. A lot of these people take it really serious, and for me, it's more about just kind of fucking with people and seeing. So you realize the casting process must be, let's get some people that are really unstable, and like maybe there's not a whole lot upstairs, and then let's get like a small percentage of people who can recognize that and fuck with them. And I like to consider myself the latter portion of casting, because most of the people on these shows don't have a lot going on.
Definitely not.
There's just, it's like you'd think that they would be acting, and I thought this a lot when I was watching the shows. Oh, these people must be acting. They're not. They're like really that dumb. I promise they're that dumb. And
like Jenna?
No,
like
Jenna's
Jenna
that
and
dumb.
Vince?
Yeah, Jenna's that dumb. That's not an act. If it is an act, she's a method actress, and
Yeah.
she deserves a fucking Oscar. Because
No, when I was going to say, sorry to interrupt you, but when you went on the season, did you sort of make a conscious decision that you were sort of going to be like more outrageous and more funny to sort of maximize your camera time in hopes of sort of making a career out of the challenge and getting invited back?
Well, when I first... So this is a two-part answer. That's a good question. When I first got casted, I went and I was thinking I'd made such an ass of myself on Are You the One that I was going to try to, like, just be cool and, like, be the guy that everybody likes and maybe have that work out. Then we get voted in first week and eliminated. And at that point, the gloves were off. So I didn't consciously try to, like, make a career out of, you know, what it is that I'm doing, but I did decide if I'm going to do this shit and I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to just be fun to watch. Because I have to watch the fucking show. So I don't want to be bored with what I'm watching. So yeah, I definitely made a conscious effort to stir the pot, but it's less about a career move and more about trying to make an entertaining show. Because I know how bad these can be, and I wanted to fucking kind of take it to the next level. So that was, once I came back, the gloves were off, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go. I'm just going right in. And that's when you see, like, fade to me at the club telling every single person they're going in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they're gonna send us in anyways, every single time. There's nothing I can do about it. So I might as well just say fuck it and try to light them up.
Where did you actually go when you got voted off the first time? Did they send you to a hotel room?
No, I came home. I was in Massachusetts for 2 days. I went on
no shit.
Yep, and then
Jesus Christ.
Funny. Yeah, they were calling me. I had been out the night before till pretty early in the morning. My phone was ringing. I was just hitting ignore. I think it was my buddies or somebody. I don't know. Hitting ignore. Finally, I woke up and I checked I have like 12 messages, and I checked the message, and it's one of the casting directors, and they're saying, you know, give us a call. Something happened. We want to bring you back. But I didn't know if I was going to go back with Cheyenne at that point. So the only way that I would have done it is if I had Cheyenne as my partner, because I really feel like she had something to prove.
Yeah.
And at that point, I pretty much asked her, are you going to do it all the way? Are you willing to, like, go all the way with this? Or are you going to quit? And she said, I won't quit. So I said, fuck it.
Yeah, you got a second chance there. I mean, not there was a lot of teams sent home early for like stupid shit this season. Like, not stupid, but like maybe one of their relatives were sick, or whose girlfriend got sick, or boyfriend got sick. That kid Brandon from Are You the One?
Okay, so no, Brandon just left because he didn't really like the vibe of the show, I think. I wasn't there when he left, but he didn't really, I don't think he really wanted to do it. So he left pretty much for no reason. Um, Tom's girlfriend got sick, had
Yeah,
a
that's who it
seizure,
was.
I think. And that's a respectable move. Tom's the man. He's super fucking cool. He had to do that. Leroy was injured, and obviously Tony and Camilla got sent home for their situation. So yeah, 4 teams got sent home without being eliminated.
Yeah. What about that Tony and Camilla situation? That seemed like it got pretty messy, and you were kind of acting as a mediator there. Like, what was up with that? That could have got worse. I feel like no one was there.
So here's the thing about Tony. He's a super emotional guy, but he's a really fucking good dude. And I know that he would never hurt a woman. Like, if none of us were there to break it up, he would never have hurt her. I know that for sure. Like, he would have never hurt her. But he's very, like, wears his emotions on his sleeve type of dude. And I think one of his biggest flaws is that he really does treat everybody equal. So in his mind, he's thinking, I would do this to, like, my best friend at home. I would, like, get in his face and, like, talk shit to him, you know? So he was doing that to Camilla because she's supposed to be, like, his partner, and he just kind of comes from that southern background where it's not like if you have a problem with someone, you just walk on eggshells around it. Tony's like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to tell him exactly how I feel. But he also, at the same time, he got played a little bit by Bananas. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but he wanted in on that alliance, which, of course, who wouldn't? It's like Bananas and Sarah, Vince and Jenna, clearly the 2 strongest teams. They're obviously have a bloodline connection where they're not going to break it. So why wouldn't Tony want to be in on that? But they played him a little bit, I think. And that sucks and kind of comes out. So that was a rough one to watch because he said some things after having a bunch of drinks that I'm sure that he didn't mean. And at the same time, I felt really torn because I had a lot of love for Camilla, so I didn't want to just, like, let this guy kind of box her into a corner, even though I knew it would never get to, like, a physical place. But it did after watching it on TV, because I was fucked up too. I didn't really know what the fuck happened. It was wild. In Are You the One, that a lot of that happened, but they never showed it. It was like a lot of people yelling at each other constantly and, like, fighting, and it just didn't make air. But this one did, so watching it on TV is kind of a little different.
Now, I know you said you were fucked up when that all went down, but I had this theory that I talked about on last week's podcast that it was actually worse than what MTV showed. What do you think about that? Do you think when you watched it on TV, do you think they edited any of that out, or was what we saw what went down?
So the way it was edited is pretty true to form, the way that I remember it. But a lot happened before I got in the room that I don't know. All I've just heard, you know, people chirping, saying different things. But I don't know how exactly it started or it went down. All I know is that when I came up, I heard a glass smash. So I came up the stairs, and when I came up the stairs, they were already in the corner. I don't know how they got there. I don't really know what happened. But I imagine that it probably wasn't what was on air that got them sent home. Although it could have been, for sure. It doesn't seem like, because, like, the way that Vince bodied Tom and, like, some other physical altercations, Corey, like, you know, gave me a shot to the face.
Yeah.
I don't think that what they showed constituted them being kicked off, so there must have been something else that I didn't see. Is kind of what I've taken from it, but it also, maybe they just had like enough of people fighting and needed to set an example.
Yeah, I think that's more what it was on that front. And how about, did you come into the house like looking to hook up with chicks? What made you drawn to Camilla? Because I mean, you've watched the show. She's been pretty crazy, like with guys, the past couple times she's been on.
Never watched the show.
Oh, really?
I didn't know any of these people. And that's how I like to do it. I didn't watch one season of Are You the One before I did it. I've never watched a season of The Challenge. I know who some of these guys are because I did watch a couple seasons of The Real World, but I've never seen an episode of The Challenge. TV, I'm not big on TV. I guess unless I'm in it, I'll watch it if I'm in it. But I don't watch a lot of TV. So I had no idea. And then now people are being like, kind of saying what you're saying, like, didn't you know you were setting yourself up for, like, a dramatic scenario? But I really didn't know. I just saw her and I thought that she was, a cool girl, and, one thing led to another. But it wasn't premeditated, and I don't know how that would have impacted it. Had I seen her before, I don't know if that would have changed things one way or the other.
Now, have you talked to either Tony or Camilla since you wrapped up taping the show?
Yeah, I've actually talked to both of them. Me and Tony have shot back and forth, obviously, because we're still employed by the same higher power there. And me and Camilla are working on a project for a documentary that she's making, so we've been in contact a little bit. They're both really great people, and it was kind of a bummer for me that they had to go out that way, because I knew them in such a different light than what gets put on TV. So it sucked to hear, like, Tony's getting shit on. Camilla's, has a lot of supporters, but also a lot of people saying that she wasn't really acting in the right way. And that just kind of sucks to see your friends, like, just get hammered by 14-year-old girls constantly that just lighting them up. It's like the comments are a little rough.
Yeah.
So I feel bad that they had to go out that way, because I know them, to be really kind of stand-up people that are really talented and cool.
Do you blame Bananas for waking up Tony that night?
Yeah, Bananas did a classic fucking Bananas move, which was Vince knocked her over, right? And it may have been intentional.
Yep.
My back was turned, I don't know.
Definitely was, yeah.
So, and Camilla's saying, he just knocked me over and pushed me to the ground. You guys need to do something about this. And so Bananas panicked because his little fucking minion might have gotten some repercussions. Maybe they were the team that was going home.
Yeah.
So if at that point, like with our theory, which was need to make an example out of somebody for a physical altercation, right? That's kind of what we're all thinking. At that point, had Tony stayed in bed, it would have been Vince and Jenna, and not Tony and Camilla.
That would have changed the game.
And I think that Bananas probably realized that, and he's smarter than he fucking looks. He looks like a moron, but he's a calculated dude, and I wouldn't put it past him to sacrifice Tony, knowing that waking him up would cause a bigger wave than Vince had caused. So
just a classic weasel move from Bananas.
Classic weasel move.
What's going on with you and Bananas? You seem to, like, right when you got in the house, you seem to have a little rivalry with him right away, and it's continued on Twitter after the show. What's going on with that? I know you seem to be more friendly with Wes as the two veterans on the show. What's going on with you and Bananas?
I just don't really like Bananas' style. He's really the kind of guy that picks at people's weaknesses for things that they can't control. So he's made a lot of comments in the house, obviously that don't make it on air, that I just kind of find disrespectful. And I also don't like his idea of this is my show and I am the guy. So I like him actually, like hanging out with him. We've chilled a couple times without cameras, and he's not different, but he's more tolerable. And Bananas is calculated. That's what I will say about him, is that he's very calculated, and he knows how to play that game, and I needed to pick a side. And his side was stacked. Leroy, Johnny, Vince, Tony, and I like Wes as a person, so I figured, fuck it. I'm just going to go with this guy because I'm not getting in on that. I'll be fifth in line over there. Or I'll be first in line over here.
Makes sense.
You know? And it's two different games. Do you pair yourself with somebody that is tried and true in like physicality? Or do you pair yourself with someone that's tried and true in politics? And my dad bod wasn't going to make the cut on the physicality side, so I went politics.
How often is Wes talking politics?
Oh, it's never. Are y'all familiar with the game Settlers of Catan?
I've played it before, yeah.
So in that game, the politics never stop.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing. If you haven't heard of it, I advise you take a peek at it. Klaus is a genius. But in that game, the politics never stop. Even if you're not saying anything, you're politicking. And that's not how it is just for Wes, but for every single person in that house. It never stops. Everyone's always thinking about the next elimination. And if they say they're not, they're lying.
Yeah. What do you guys do to pass time in the house? Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on. You just got to make your own shit up.
You just lose your mind. You just go nuts. You eat, and some people work out. I would make up songs or play cards if they allowed us to have cards, which sometimes they don't. It's a lot of meditating and a lot of politicking. That's the way they do it.
So, like from a timeline perspective, when you do a challenge, how long is there until there's actually the elimination jungle? Is it the next night, the same night, or is there a day in between?
It varies, but it could be it gets thrown at you in different ways. Obviously, they need to do voting and need to do matchup ceremony. But for instance, we had a challenge that won the box challenge where we did it in the middle of the night. So the next day they let us sleep and we had the elimination the next day because we got home at 8 o'clock in the morning. So, or not 8 o'clock, probably, Jesus, 1 or 2 o'clock. So then when you sleep all day, you have that night. The next morning is nominations, and then the eliminations are always the same day as the nomination. So you go, you find out you're going in, you got like 4 hours to prepare, and then you go and you either pick a white skull, like I do, or you don't.
So speaking of that...
Go, Steve.
Oh, I was just going to say, speaking of that botch challenge, here's a question we posed on our podcast tonight. Would you rather do something like that, which honestly seemed brutal, or would you rather eat something disgusting?
No, I don't eat shit. Fuck that. I did eat things that I didn't want to eat. The brain, for instance, I'll stand on a box for 24 hours before I eat another cow brain.
Now, were you getting delirious when you were doing that? Standing on the box?
Yeah, if we'd have been able to have beers, it would have been fine. It would have been totally fine. And I was like, really just, I could stay up all night, no fucking problem if I'm drinking beers. Especially if I have to stand up. If I can't go fucking horizontal, I'm up. I'm awake. So that was fine, but who was I in between? Corey and Ashley, who I don't really like, and Vince and fucking Bananas. No, Bananas and Sarah, who just put a fucking bullet in my head. So and you guys will see maybe a little later in the season, I don't want to give too much away, but a similar situation takes place. And yet again, I've got on either side of me people I'm not trying to hang out with. So that was, as bad as it was, overeating something really gross and getting it over with in 30 seconds, I stand on the box. Because I don't wake up, or like I don't think about standing on the box in the middle of the day, but I think about eating the brain. I'm like, fuck, I ate it. I'm like, fuck, I ate that brain. And it like fucks up textures for me. Like that's like a long-standing thing. So it's over in a minute and a half, but it lasts a lifetime. In the standing on the box thing, you're like, well, fuck it. Like I don't really, that doesn't really bother me. If I see a box, I don't like have PTSD about it.
I just want to confirm, you were doing was that cornholio you were doing when you were on the box?
I don't know what that was. That just came.
What the fuck was that?
That was rough. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I was just trying to survive up there, and that felt like the right thing to do. I don't know. I have no idea. That shit was funny.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of that challenge.
This party sucks. That was pretty
good. This party sucks.
Yeah, this party sucks was pretty good. I don't remember any of that. And I wasn't even fucked up. I'm like an elephant if I've had a couple beers, but put me on a box sober for more than 4 hours and I just a blackout. No idea.
How challenging was it trying to do the puzzle piece? And I know you mentioned that the heat was brutal there the next day, right?
Dude, you're talking 95 suns on you for a long time. A long time. And actually, I fucked this challenge up. That doesn't happen a lot, but me and Cheyenne had asked each other to remember certain things. And what fucked us up was I didn't know the dirt bike number. The dirt bike was my thing. And I didn't know it. I didn't know what the number was. No idea. 93 now, obviously, but in the moment, they're all the same. It's 90-something. You know, I'm thinking, okay, 90-something. They're going to give me like 85, 75, 93, whatever. No, it was like 92 through 8. And I was like, no fucking idea. So we actually could have won had I not had my head up my ass. But I was doing cornholio, so I didn't pay attention to the number.
It seems like you guys keep getting sent in. Do you think that's because you were on Are You the One? Like, what's going on with that rivalry between the Real World and the Are You the One? It's kind of
so no one thought this is a very simple question to answer. Good question, but simple one to answer. Me and Cheyenne were never going to win. We were never going to win, so no one ever had to worry about us sending them in. And because we already had so many enemies, it was in their favor to send us in. Because even if we win, we got to pick out of 5 people who've sent us in, and we can only send in 2. So it was just a numbers game. Why piss off 2 more teams when you can just piss off the team that's already been totally shit on? You know?
Yeah.
And that's why I say the game never stops. That's what people are thinking about constantly. And again, not to give too much away, but you guys will see in the next coming episodes how you can go from one side of the fence to the other as soon as you get the chance. It's very easy to sit down and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it's very difficult to fall through on that. So,
some backstabbing, huh?
You'll see. You will see. This season's going to be fun, though. And hopefully I get the call for the next one, and I'll be back to light it up again.
So you'll do another one if they reach out to you?
Fuck yeah, I need redemption. I need to take a W.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
I need to bring a W back to Western Mass. I actually think CT is the only Massachusetts, well, Cara Maria too, but she's not really from here, person to ever take a trophy back. But Western Mass has never seen one. So I need.
Western Mass has never seen a trophy. Period.
Yeah. No. I could really go down in the history books here.
Yeah, you could be a star. Western Mass.
I could be a Western Mass folklore if I pull this off. That's hilarious.
Speaking of getting the call to appear on the challenge, what's it like when you got the call to appear on this season of the challenge, and how much time did they give you to prepare?
Get the call about a month before, and then that's that. They tell you you're either doing it or you're not. Tell us right now. You say, all right, I'm in. And then obviously, if something happens, you can't do it. They have replacement teams set up, but they asked me pretty much right after Ari the One.
So, do you have any idea? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it.
So what I was going to say is, do you have any idea what the format of the show is going to be? Did you know it was going to be
no
a Rivals theme?
You don't even know where you're going till you get to the airport, and they say that the fucking pilot comes on and goes, "This flight's going to Mexico." You have no idea. I swear
That's
to God,
insane.
you have no idea. You have no idea, and you look around and you don't know. Well, because I never watched the show, so I didn't even know who the people on the plane were. I'm thinking like the random fucking pretty girl next to me might be on the show. She's not. She's just a regular person. And so people are walking by, and I have no idea. Obviously, I knew Wes. I knew Johnny. But that was it. And I had met Nani in the hotel, so I knew her. But the rest of the people, I had no idea who they were. They could have been normal people. Then you get into the house, and you see everyone who it is, and, you start introducing yourself or whatever. But it was crazy.
How'd you feel about getting Cheyenne for a partner? Because you knew her from Ari the One.
Love Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Very strong mentally. Could use a little work on her athleticism, but can't
have everything. Yeah, you can't have everything.
She was... I've never really seen anybody go as hard with as little as Cheyenne did. Because she really fucking tried. So a lot of times people like that will be like, you know what, I'm just like pretty and I'm funny, so I don't really need to try. Cheyenne tried really hard. She like put herself out of her comfort zone, and that's all I needed her to do. And I did the same thing. And as you guys will see, we had a pretty strong collective there. Given the second chance, I like to think that we made it completely worthwhile.
So for those people who didn't watch your season of Are You the One, what went on between you and Cheyenne that made you rivals?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. He didn't really like the way that I talked to the women in the house, I think, but like we were kind of friends, so that might have been a little bit of a reach on the rivalry thing because they wanted both of us. I think that's kind of how it went. They needed season 3 representatives, and the rest of my cast outside of Zach and Chuck are kind of duds. So, and neither one of them had rivals because everybody loved them. So it seemed like I was really the only guy they could have chosen, and she was the only girl. So
makes sense. How do you feel about the antagonizer nickname? Is that going to stick, or is that
fuck yeah?
That night out with Corey?
I'll never stop antagonizing. That's my game. I get people out of theirs. I do the same thing in sports. That's why I love Boston sports, because we fire back real quick, talking shit all the way, the whole time. And if you can't hack it, sorry, boys.
Yep.
And I'll never stop doing that because it works.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, Corey could and probably should, had I not said no, been sent home just because I talked so much shit to him that he felt like he needed to punch me in the face. And
so they asked you if you wanted to send him home?
I'm not going to disclose that, but there may have been an option on the table.
Okay. What was it like, sort of the next morning and for the rest of the season with you and Corey?
I knew we had Corey because Corey was with Cheyenne, so I could say whatever I wanted to him.
Yeah, they were like a couple for the whole season.
That duo was locked up. So I could, and I don't know. I don't really like Corey. I don't mind him, but I feel like he plays a scared game. I feel like he plays a scared game, and that is just never the type of game that's going to get my respect. That's why I don't like Vince. That's why I don't like Corey. It's why I don't like Dario. It's why I don't like Nate.
We're about to ask about Dario. We forget he's on the show until he does one of those interviews like halfway through the episode.
Yeah, Dario's rough. Tune in next week and the following week, and you will see exactly what I mean. But I have a hard time with people that are huge fucking pussies, and pretty much clean across the board on season 2 of Are You the One. We're dealing with total pussies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's not much I can do for them. But I'll tell you what, fellas. I got to slam this, and it's time for me to say farewell.
All right. Thanks, Devin.
Thanks for joining us.
You guys want to wrap up with?
No, that's it. Cheers.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on here. Cheers. Go Boston Sports. And I look forward to the next time we link up here.
All right. See you, Devin.
All right, thanks.
Take it easy, boys.
See ya.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that was, how long was that?